Hey y'all, I just wanted to hop on to tell another one of my experiences in my journey with major depressive disorder, in which I experienced a period of psychosis. Um, a little background, um, also sorry if I'm just like all over the place. I just like didn't plan this at all. I literally was just thinking about it and thought I would like discuss it or whatever. But anyway, I've been dealing with like noticeable depression symptoms since I was maybe about 12, and as it happens with a lot of people, I think it's kind of gotten like worse as I've grown older, just because more responsibility comes up in your life, and like it's hard to, it's just hard, you know? So I guess I'll just cut right to the chase of when everything first kind of started. So this period of psychosis was, I believe, took place last year, because of all of the meds that I've been on and just my condition in general. My memory is not that great, especially when it comes to remembering when things happened or the order that they happened in. So bear that in mind. But I want to say it was like early last year that this stuff kind of started happening. I was on treatment at the time, and at the time I believe I was only taking 2 medications. I was taking an SSRI type medication, and then I was also on like Wellbutrin, and then I believe I was on something for sleep as well, so 3. And yeah, that is what I was taking. I wasn't on any antipsychotic or anything at the time. So I remember it started with what I thought was just kind of like dissociation, which I had experienced in lesser degrees throughout my condition. And just that kind of feeling of like, I'm so sorry, my nose is so itchy, I can't stop itching it. It started with that kind of feeling that, am I real? Is everything real? What's going on? Is this like all simulation? It kind of started getting worse from there, where I would be in a familiar area and it wouldn't feel familiar at all. It felt like I was in that same area but in another dimension or something. And that feeling started to really consume me, and it kind of rapidly got very bad. And about maybe a month into experiencing these very strong like detachment type feelings, my sister, and I wasn't being super open about this at the time because, and I'll get into why I didn't want to tell anyone what was going on, because I felt crazy. So my sister asked me if I could watch her house for a weekend, and I was with my current boyfriend at the time, still back then. We've been together for 3.5 years, so yeah, we were together when this was going down. But like, I wasn't working at the time, but he was. So there were times during the weekend of like staying at my sister's that I was there alone. And on one of the nights, my boyfriend was not getting home till like 9 o'clock at night, but we decided we would like go out to dinner, and I thought I would like get ready for it. And also, I should also just mention that my sister's house always made me like a little uneasy. I can't really explain why. Oh my god, there was just a giant bug on my floor. Cool. Gonna have to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, so my sister's house always made me a little uneasy, and I couldn't pinpoint why. I just always had that feeling of like not being alone in there, so that really didn't help me in the next part that I'm gonna tell. So I'm getting ready, and when I stay at her house, because she had one dog at the time, she has two now, but her one dog at the time, you can't leave any like doors open that you don't want, because she will get into the bathroom and like fuck up the garbage. So anytime you leave the bathroom, you have to shut the door, and when you're in the bathroom, you have to shut the door because she's like relentless. So I'm getting ready and I have the door shut, and I have this weird thing about myself where whenever I'm in a bathroom, I have to open the shower curtain because I have that like super irrational fear all the time that something will be in the shower. So one of the first things I do when I go into a bathroom, especially if I'm like going in there to get ready, is I will open the shower curtain, leave it open, because I just like to see everything that's going on. So I'm just getting ready, whatever, got the door shut, I'm like doing my makeup, and then I had to run into my sister's room, which is across the hall. So I come out of the bathroom, I shut the door, go in my sister's bedroom, get whatever I needed, come back in the bathroom, open the door, and to this day, I'm like absolutely convinced that the shower curtain shut itself, because I was super sure that I had left it open, because I always do that. I never felt so scared in my life. I literally freaked out so much, and I really don't think that it helped that I was already in an unstable mind state and hadn't told anybody about it. So I flipped my shit. I ran out of the house. I was screaming. I called one of my good friends at the time, and I just felt like I could not bring myself to go back in that house alone. It was absolutely terrifying. Several other weird things have happened to me in that house, so I'm not going to get into that right now. But yeah, it was like extremely terrifying for me, and this incident just exacerbated everything that was to come. My paranoia and like kind of delusion type things. Sorry, I keep looking for bugs on my floor because I saw a bug and I'm like, it's gonna come out and get me. And it's just my luck that I decided to sit on the floor to film this, and what can you do? So anyway, I stay outside of her house in my car until my friend gets there. She hangs out with me for the rest of the time until my boyfriend gets home from work. And yeah, that sparked a lot of pretty negative things to happen, and started probably my biggest like delusion, I guess you could say, which was that I was going to get possessed. I think what also contributed to this was that following this incident, just because I was so paranoid and I was like so scared of it and obsessing over it, was the week following, I had several very terrifying episodes of sleep paralysis. And in my logical brain now, I know about sleep paralysis. I'm educated on it, but at the time, all I could think was that the spirit from my sister's house had followed me to my house and that it was going to possess me. It got to the point where, like, anytime I was alone, I was thinking about it. And I would think about it so hard that I would think that just thinking about it would manifest it. And while I was thinking it would just happen. And it's still, like, it's a little triggering for me, because I even had to take, like, a Valium before talking about it, because it's just hard to talk about this state that I was in at this time. So what started happening from there was complete detachment from everyone and everything. One of the most notable things was feeling like someone had taken my family members and replaced them with exact replicas, because I wasn't getting any of that emotional response to seeing people that I loved. I felt that they were like, I had been put into some kind of like program, and they were simulations made to make me think that they were real. And it started getting so bad I finally had to like tell people and tell my doctor, and it was a big pain in the ass trying to figure out how to treat it. But some of the other things that I experienced were some hallucinations. Mostly they were audio, so being in a silent room was like an absolute hell for me because of things that I would just like hear. For me, it was almost never voices, maybe occasional like incoherent whispering, but no like multiple voices telling me what to do, like nothing like what people know as like schizophrenia to be like. But most of the time it was like music. The music would vary. Most of the time it was either orchestra music or like heavy metal screaming music. It was like one of the two. One of the times that I had my sleep paralysis, it sounded like a choir of angels singing into my ears, and it was absolutely horrifying. So yeah, with all of that started come the hallucinating and other just visual disturbances, because at this point I was starting to get extreme lack of sleep, which probably didn't help my case either, because I was so scared of having sleep paralysis. I just was like, I'll just stay awake so I don't have to have sleep paralysis, which isn't healthy because you need to get sleep. So get sleep. But my visual disturbances, I still have some to this day, but I'll get to like how I kind of got everything under control. Was lots of halo effects around items. When you move your arm like this, or whatever, that's how you like test if you have like trails. So I'd like move my arm and it's like trail would follow it. Speckles, like lots of peripheral stuff and some double vision. I didn't have really any full-on visual hallucinations of seeing things that weren't there. More so what I was looking at was distorted and like unreal looking in some way. One of the scariest feelings of my life, hands down. Before I finally got the treatment and got help, I got to one of my lowest points of not being able to leave my couch or my house in a blanket and just violently shaking, just like so scared that reality as I knew it was just going to like shatter and nothing would be left but like me and my consciousness and my like fucked up consciousness that is like stuck in thought loops and just in a really bad state. All in all, I think it went on for like 2 months and some change before we finally found something that helped me. So, because I don't want to end it just saying like, yeah, this happened and it fucking sucked. My doctor gave me a drug called Abilify, and it is an antipsychotic medication. And since I've been on it, I felt so much more connected to what's going on. Like I can just enjoy things a little better. And like, don't get me wrong, my depression is still pretty crippling because I am treatment resistant. And the only drug that has helped me has been this Abilify. And the only symptom that it helps is the psychotic symptoms. So it made that disconnected from reality feeling just almost gone. And I'm so thankful for that, because when I think back about it, being in a permanent state of fear and impending doom was just so bad for me. I would, like, my heart rate resting would be at like 160 easy. And so once I finally told people about it and I finally got it under control, it was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. I'm in no way there yet. I'll probably make another video talking about like what I'm gonna do moving forward as for the rest of my treatment, because I still get passively suicidal and stuff like that. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I know there's a varying severity when it comes to psychosis, you know. So I know that I didn't have like the worst case ever, but yeah, that was just my experience with it. So I'm gonna end this. I'm really bad at ending things, but yeah, I'm just gonna end it. So, alright, bye.